time in night. I move so far in time. I move so far in time. I've been moved up in night.
I hate putting on lip liner and then just accidentally wiping my lips, like swiping it with my finger. Like, I hate that so much. Anyway, how are we doing? It's your girl Mine. I'm back at it again with another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're having a very impromptu photo shoot. I gotta put concealer in my eyes. And let me explain. Because I know a lot of y'all probably gonna be like, oh, you said I was gonna model and I... Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, please. At first, okay, so we have like a photo studio on campus, whatever. And at first I was really just gonna book some time for myself to take some pictures in the new, it's under here, excuse me, in the new varsity jacket that we have. But I was like, you know what, last minute I was like, you know what, let me just see if one of my photographer friends can just take this from me real quick, and I just, you know, give him a couple cash. And I was just gonna take this photo, this outfit, whatever. However, so I put it in a group chat that I have with like some of my frat, and I was like, any one of y'all, I wasn't really specific. I was like, can anybody help me with my photos today? So I wasn't specifically asking for models or photographers or whoever. And people was like, oh no, I was like, oh, you know what? While we're here, might as well. Already got the room booked, got a photographer, period. I'm gonna tag him down below, gonna put his ad on the screen, all that when we get to it. But yeah, that's a short story, y'all. First of all, if you're not following the brand on Instagram, but you trying to subscribe to me on YouTube, like, if you gotta, if you love me, if you subscribe to me, you gotta support my endeavors. Please support my endeavors, because the economy. I'm gonna put down the camera, and the next time you see me, we're gonna be at the shoot, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. So yeah. So this is the second part of the video that I promised you guys, because we need to talk. Because a lot of y'all ask me like, oh, how I do this, how I do that, how do I get clothes made? Because maybe you don't just want to put something on a t-shirt. Maybe you actually want to make a sweater or make a varsity jacket. Like, you know, like sometimes you just want to step out the box. Maybe you want to make some jeans. I'm not going to be before y'all too long. I don't want to be before y'all way too long. But I do want to go ahead and make this video, because why not? I have about 6 steps with sub steps in them. So go ahead and get your notes out. Go ahead and get your, matter of fact, get you one of these. Ooh, all that dust. And let's get to cooking, let's get to working. Number 1, have a sketch or an idea already, and have it be like a clear sketch or a clear idea. One thing that I do to like make sketches and like design is, the first thing I do is definitely look for inspiration if God has not already planted a vision in my head. If I want to make a design, I'm gonna look for inspiration, look what I'm really trying to do, look at some other brands I like to look at. I like to look at designer brands. I like to look at streetwear brands. Like, of course, you got your Supreme, you got World Envision, you got God is Dope, you got Rich Royal, you got, I like to look at, you know, like the Louis Vuitton when Virgil was heads over the men's department, because he really brought like that streetwear style like back into high fashion. And yeah, just like looking all over Instagram, like people who you follow and how they dress, like just almost like gathering up a mental Pinterest board. And even Pinterest, look on Pinterest, but like this, like gathering up a mental Pinterest board. Like when you see something that you would probably like to use that element of design from, to go ahead and take you a little screenshot. Like that's what I do all the time. Like my phone is filled with more screenshots than pictures of myself. Another thing I like to do is create stuff in a collection. Even though I may not release things as a collection as of right now, I still like to think about whole collections and probably just like release them as the time goes by, just because I am still a starting business and money doesn't grow on trees. And if you can't draw it out yourself, make sure you get someone to draw it out for you. There are design platforms where you can find designers. I know I design t-shirts myself. I'm only doing really t-shirts right now for other people. I'm not like designing like pieces. But if you even have like a little rough sketch, but you can explain what you want it to look like, what you want the colors and this, that, and the third to look like, go ahead and go on Fiverr. You can definitely find people, like just type in like graphic fashion designers or a mock-up designer or something of that sort, and there'll be a lot of people on there who can like just visualize something for you so that you can have it in a good format to send to a supplier or to send to a manufacturer. So that was your first step. Create a sketch or an idea. Now, if y'all see me, I'm sorry y'all, I got the list over here. I wrote this like a month ago. Your second step is to find a manufacturer, not a vendor, a manufacturer. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you how, but let me tell you something real quick. When you're trying to get pieces made, you are looking for a manufacturer. You're not looking for a vendor. That's important to know. Like, you need to know like the wording of the things that you want. You're looking for a manufacturer, not a vendor. A vendor is gonna sell you clothes that's already made in bulk. Like, say for example, if you find Forever 21's vendor for regular zip up hoodies, like, you know what I'm saying, like that's the, and they're just gonna send you the regular zip up hoodies. It's not gonna have your logo, or it's not gonna be customized zippers or anything like that. Like, that's just, you're just buying it straight like that. That's what you get from a vendor. What you get from a manufacturer is something that you want, that you just made on your own. It's something that you want to be like a one-of-one type of, like, I made this type of piece, like something that's not out there. So that's what you're gonna get from a manufacturer. Two places you can find some manufacturers. One, the number one that I really use the most is Alibaba, because honestly, Alibaba is where you're gonna find, like, I'm not gonna say the cheapest vendors, but like the vendors that like don't charge as much if you buy a vendors list, and I'll be getting to that as well. A manufacturer that's not gonna charge as much as if you're buying like a manufacturer's list of those manufacturers, because those manufacturers really just kind of like charge a little bit more for stuff when you could get the same type of quality stuff like from an Alibaba manufacturer. But you cannot trust every manufacturer on Alibaba. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And there are vendors and manufacturers on Alibaba, so make sure that when you're looking at these profiles that you're understanding, and even if you are in terms of talking with them, ask them, are you a manufacturer? Like, do you actually make the clothes, or are you just wholesaling? Are you just selling in bulk? The second way to find manufacturers is you can get the I don't even know how to say it. I think it's Siegs or Siegs. I think it's Siegs. The little Siegs list. Siegs, he's like a dude. He's usually like more on YouTube. He kind of gives like tutorials and stuff. I could tag his channel down below actually, but he has helped me a lot when it comes to the streetwear thing, and he just gets to the nitty-gritty of a lot of stuff. Okay, he does. But he also has a list on his website that I personally buy, and that's why I was like, I've communicated with so many people on that list, and it's just they're like more known, so of course they're gonna charge more because they know they're more known. So just kind of be more cautious of that. Like, it's like a $10 difference between the vendor that I personally have for my varsity jacket and the vendor that was off his list when I was trying to like quote for prices. For t-shirts, find you a local vendor or like a state above, state below, because there's no reason for you to be buying t-shirts off of Alibaba or just by any overseas manufacturer, because there are plenty of good t-shirt printers and makers, people who do screen printing, DTG, that's direct to garment printing. If you don't know, that's more of like the complex like type of designs, like say if you want to print out this, like this would have to be in DTG. Well, it probably wouldn't, but you get what I'm saying. Like if you want to print out a picture of my face right now, it would have to be in DTG. So yeah, screen printing is like if you have a minimal, I feel like you could, if you wanted to remake this on screen printing, you could, because it has a minimal like amount of colors, and they charge you by the color too. So say if this whole graphic was just black and white, they would just charge you for like, I mean, depending on what type of blank you got, they will charge you for the white, charge you for the black, but it would just be one color. If you want to do this full color, it would probably like what, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 colors. That's a lot of colors, and they will charge heavy for that. But that's the difference between DTG and screen printing. It's also like, you know, people who do vinyl and like puff print and stuff like that. So just like do your research on that, honestly. But I will give you my go-to if you are on the East Coast in the Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina area. My boys at Atlanta Screen Prints will always get you right. But that's what I've been using lately for my t-shirts, such as my long sleeve white tees that I just dropped and the black tees that I'm dropping. Really good quality. They have all types of good style blanks, and honestly they're the best bang for your buck. Like they're in Atlanta and I'm in South Carolina, and like they're better than like even the local services near me, like where I could literally go pick it up at. Like I would do it with them all the time. If you ever go, just, you know, mention that Zamaya sent you, Zamaya J sent you there, yeah, or the original DNA sent you, because, you know, we're trying to get a little discount, you know, maybe to slide a little 15 off, you know. When you're on Alibaba, make sure that you're checking their credibility through like their reviews, and like if you're already like talking to them or like messaging them, make sure that like you ask like, oh, can I see your recent work? Like, you know, don't ever pay them outside of Alibaba. Now, this next step, number 3, talking with them. I have like 500 bullet points under this one because it is so crucial. You have to know how to talk to these vendors, because number 1, these vendors will try to push you into buying something, into buying a sample, or try to guilt trip you because you're trying to weigh your options and stuff. Do not let them guilt trip you because you're trying to weigh your options, because no, I'm trying to make sure my money's worth. Like, I don't care if you're good. I'm trying to make sure my money's worth, because we can't be just wasting money like that, especially in this economy. And you got to make smart business choices. So and they know that, so don't let them try to sway you into buying something when you know you're not ready. That's the number 1 rule. Stand firm, stand 10 toes down behind getting the right information, making sure that you're getting the best quote, all that. You have to be very, very specific in what you want. There's already a language barrier because most of these suppliers are overseas, like in China. And I think the top suppliers are like in China and Pakistan, as far as what I've worked with. But be very specific in what you want in your design. Like, don't, like, literally do not leave any stone unturned. If you want a certain type of red, don't just say red. Say, I want Pantone this color, or a hex this color. Like, you have to be real specific, and you really have to know like your colors, and like be kind of tech savvy about it also, because they're gonna expect you to be tech savvy. Ask for samples. I know some people are like, oh, samples are free. No, I don't know where y'all getting these free samples from, but ain't nobody offer me no free sample. I just paid $400 for a sample jacket. I mean, now when it's high price like that, don't click on the video. When it's high price like that, they will take it out of your bulk order, and so that's what I'm gonna do once I start getting these orders in for this jacket. So yeah, they're gonna take like that whole $400 off the bulk order. However, it is like when people, and that's why I like when people be like, oh, you can start your business with like $0. How? It's always gonna cost something. You gotta pay for the website, you gotta pay for the GERM, you gotta pay for somebody to make your designs if you don't know how to draw stuff. You gotta pay for Adobe this, Adobe that. You gotta pay to accept payments on the website. Like, you know, like, you're gonna have to pay for something. It's never gonna be $0. Anyway, y'all stop telling people that. Samples in general are already gonna cost like a good, like, starting at one. I think the lowest I've ever paid for a sample, I think I paid like $70 or something for my sample of the sweater that I dropped. But I mean, it honestly depends on the item. Of course, when I have all those Chanel patches and stuff on the varsity jacket, and they're literally making the jacket from scratch because I wanted like custom, like, or little rib colors on the rib. Yeah, so it's gonna cost more the more details that you want. Make a note of that. It's gonna cost more with the more details that you want on the design in the bulk order and with a sample as well. And the reason why samples cost a lot is because when they have these machines in their manufacturing plant or whatever, they're made to make like 20-50 items at once. It's not made to really make like one item. If they're making one item on a machine that can make 20, they're losing money. So that's why it costs a lot. So you're kind of low-key paying like for however much the machine would hold. Like, you get what I'm saying? Always when you really get into the nitty-gritty and like they tell you like, oh, say the sweaters are gonna cost $25 a pop. Okay, cool. To make, excuse me. Okay, cool. How much will shipping be? Always ask how much shipping will be. And if they try to be like, oh, I don't know, well, go along, because there are a lot of other vendors that I personally have talked to that can at least give me an estimate as to what the shipping rate would be. So if you're asking for the shipping rate, go ahead and be like, hey, can I get the shipping rate for sending it to your location or wherever you want it sent to, and this how much that would be. Just the estimate, because some people act like they can't give you estimates. If they act like they can't give you no estimate, move right along, because they do not know how to run business. Always ask for a size chart, of course, just to make sure your sizing is correct. I mean, I personally just go with like a regular sizing chart that you would find at probably like, I don't even know, like American Eagle or something like that, like whatever, or Nike, or like wherever your clothes you feel like you have like the best fitting clothes from. Try to look at those sizing charts and see what like the dimensions are those are, and if the manufacturer doesn't provide like the same type of sizing as what you want, then you can make up your own sizing chart, and based off of those that's a lot of math, y'all. I personally have never had to make a sizing chart, but that's what I would recommend. But honestly, most of the time they always hit it right on the nail, so it's never like too small, too this, too that. Me personally, of course, weigh your different options with different vendors. As I said in the beginning of this part, don't let nobody make you do something that you don't want to do, because if you don't want to do that, then you ain't got to do it. There are some different words and phrases and stuff that you will need to know of, like such as PCS, that's pieces, like how many pieces of clothing do you want. That's okay, I want 50 pieces, 10 small, 10 medium, 10, you know, pieces. PCS, pieces, real easy. Next one is MOQ, that is minimum order quantity. That is the amount of pieces that you are going to be able to buy once you order in bulk from said place. So say, okay, I'm going with this vendor for the sweaters. Okay, cool. They most of the time they always tell you like their MOQ like straight up, like straight out the gate. But most of the time the MOQ is probably gonna be like 50 pieces, and that's not like 50 pieces of one size or anything like that. Like, that's 50 pieces period. So how many sizes of this do you want out of 50? How many sizes of this do you want out of 50? Like, stuff like that. So, if you don't order the minimum amount, then you're gonna have to pay like a sample price for every item. Like, say if the MOQ is $50 pieces, but this jacket you finna order is $50 a piece because it's so detailed. Since that's already expensive and you ain't got no startup money, now the only thing you can afford is about 25 jackets. You're gonna have to pay 50 times 25 for all those jackets. You feel what I'm saying? Because they don't operate like that. I've seen some people like have their minimum order quantity as like 30 or 50 or whatever. And you need to know your types of fabric, like cotton polyester blend, polyester nylon, cotton nylon. Like, go in your like little activity, go in your closet, feel like some of your best, like say if you already got sweaters in your closet, go to your best sweater that you love so much and be like, okay, look at the tag. What is this? Is it I don't know, I'm top of my head, child, I'm tired. Whatever fabric it is, then you could probably use that for your brand. So that's free game. That's free game. And lastly, you could always also like negotiate prices with them. Sometimes you could just finesse and be like, I'm not feeling the 45. Can we do 40? Don't be no like no low baller now, but you know. Or you could be like, nah, I can get it cheaper somewhere. No, I've told somebody that before. I was like, I'm getting somebody to do it cheaper somewhere else, and they're like, huh, what, how? Step number 4, order your sample. Order your sample. Get your sample in, make sure that's what you want on it. You might have to order samples multiple times if you're not satisfied with the first, second, third, fourth. That's just how it is, you know. I had to do that with my varsity jackets. I had ordered one sample and I was like, the design's so plain, so I added a little bit more, and then I ordered this sample and now it's cute. So yeah. And then your step 5, go ahead and order your bulk order. Or if you're doing pre-order, you know, go ahead and do your little pre-order. Then order your bulk order, you know. I think even some suppliers will let you like, you know, pay in half or do payment plans or things of that nature. So that's just like a supplier by supplier type of thing. You just kind of gotta ask them and just like, you know, negotiate with them on that turn. When you get deep into pricing like that, make sure that that's actually the people that you're going with though. Like, well, nah, scratch that. You can ask. You know, like make sure you get all your ducks in order before you choose somebody for real. Child, I have one do and one don't for y'all to end this off. Don't use Instagram vendors that be blowing up your DM. Hi, sir, madam. We have bulk size jackets, your design, your logo. Hit us up on WhatsApp. Like, first of all, if you, I'm not even gonna say that, but no, people got pronouns on their page now. If you can't say like, you can't do it a little amount of research to see if I'm a sir or a madam or a that'em, datum, like, you know, why would I even work with you? But don't take no Instagram vendors because that be in your DM, because no. Now, I will say there are like legit pages that just do business through their DM. I have seen some pages like that are legit, but the people who literally come in your DM, scratch. Done. Anybody page who look funny, no. Don't even try it because you're gonna be so disappointed. The first manufacturer, of course, was Atlanta Screen Prints, atlantascreenprints.net. Make sure you guys go check them out. Tell them that Zamaya sent you or the original DNA sent you. The second one I will drop is, I don't know how to say this name, but I'm also gonna have it on the screen. Dongguan Yujia Garment Company. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something out of it. If you are a clothing brand owner, go ahead and drop your brand down below so we can follow you, because I love following a clothing brand. I love. So, and y'all go ahead and follow my clothing brand too, because what you're doing watching my video, you're not even following my clothing brand. But I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Y'all be safe. Love y'all. Bye.